ServiceInstall Table. The ServiceInstall Table is used to install a service and has the following columns. Service install. This is the primary key for the table. Name. This column is the string that gives the service name to install. The string has a maximum length of 256 characters. The Service Control Manager database preserves the case of the characters in the service name, but comparisons of service names are case insensitive. Display name. This column is the localizable string that user interface programs use to identify the service. The string has a maximum length of 256 characters. The Service Control Manager preserves the case of the display name, but display name comparisons are case insensitive. Service type. This column is a set of bit flags that specify the type of service. One of the following service types must be specified in this column. Type of service. Value description. Service _win32 _OWN process 0 by 0000010. A Microsoft Win32 service that runs its own process. Service _win32 share process 0 by 0000020. A Win32 service that shares a process. Service interactive process 0 by 0000010. A Win32 service that interacts with the desktop. This value cannot be used alone and must be added to one of the two previous types. The start name column must be set to local system or null when using this flag. The following types of service are unsupported. Type of service. Value description. Service _kernel _driver 0 by 0000001. A driver service. Service _file system driver 0 by 0000002. A file system driver service. Start type. This column is a set of bit flags that specify when to start the service. One of the following types of service start must be specified in this column. Type of service start. Value description. Service _auto start 0 by 0000002. A service start during startup of the system. Service _demand start 0 by 0000003. A service start when the Service Control Manager calls the start service function. Service _disabled 0 by 0000004 specifies a service that can no longer be started. The Windows installer cannot use the service _boot start and service system start options. Adding the constant msd service install error control vital to the flags in the following table specifies that the overall install should fail if the service cannot be installed into the system. Error control flag. Value startup programs action. Service _error ignore 0 by 00000 logs the error and continues with the startup operation. Service _error normal 0 by 0000001 logs the error, displays a message box and continues the startup operation. Service _error critical 0 by 0000003 logs the error if it is possible and the system is restarted with the last configuration known to be good. Load order group. This column contains the string that names the load ordering group of which this service is a member. Specify null or an empty string if the service does not belong to a group. Dependencies. This column is a list of names of services or load ordering groups that the system must start before this service. Separate names in the list by nulls. If the service has no dependencies, then specify null or an empty string. Use the syntax to insert a null. Dependency on a group means that this service can run if at least one member of the group is running after an attempt to start all members of the group. For example, to require that the system start Service 1 and Service 2, before starting the service listed in the Service Install column, enter Service 1 Service 2 into the Dependencies column. The identifiers Service 1 and Service 2 must either occur in the primary key of the table or be the name of the service that is already installed. You must prefix group names with plus so that they can be distinguished from a service name, to require that the system start Service 1 and at least one member of the ordering group MyGroup before starting the service listed in the Service Install column, enter Service 1 plus MyGroup. Start name. The service is logged on as the name given by the string in this column. If the service type is service_win32_own_process, use an account name in the form domain name /username. If the account belongs to the built-in domain, it is permitted to specify /username. The local system account must be used if the type of service is service_win32_share_process or service_interactive_process. Password. This string is the password to the account name specified in the start name column. Note that the user must have permissions to log on as a service. The service has no password if start name is null or an empty string. The start name of local system is null, and therefore the password in this instance is null, so most services leave this column blank. Note that after deleting a service that was installed with a username and password, the installer cannot roll back the service without first using a custom action to get the password. The installer can acquire all the necessary information about the service except the password, which is stored in a protected part of the system. The custom action acquires the password by prompting the user, reading a property from the database, or reading a file. The custom action must then call change service config to supply the password before reinstalling the service. Windows installer does not write the value entered into the password field into the log file. Arguments. This column contains any command line arguments or properties required to run the service. Component_external key to column 1 of the component table. Note that to install this service using the install service table, the key path for this component must be the executable file for the service. Description. This column contains a localizable description for the service being configured. If this column is left blank, the installer uses the existing description of the service if one exists. For more information, see service_description in the Microsoft Windows Software Development Kit. To erase an existing description, enter in this column. This results in a blank description for either a new or existing service. Remarks. The install services action in sequence tables processes the information in this table. For information about using sequence tables, see using a sequence table. This table has most of the parameters to the Win32 create service function. Although it is possible to use the user interface to specify that a service be installed as run from source, the installer does not actually support this type of installation. Services that run with the privilege level of the local system must be installed to run from the local hard drive. Avoid installing services that impersonate the privileges of a particular user because this may write security data into a log or the system registry. To delete a service during an uninstallation, there must be a corresponding record for the service in the service control table, and the MSID service control event uninstall delete flag must appear in the event column. The installer does not delete a service in the ServiceInstall Table during uninstallation without this entry in the service control table. For information on how to secure a service, see the MSILOC Permissions X table. Validation: ISO 3, ISO 6, ISO 32, ISO 45, ISO 46, ISO 66, ISO 69.